and Crank program on Delmarva's Rock Radio, 93.5 The Beach.
This has not been my week at all. First, I get to level 2 on Earthworm Jim on my BlackBerry, and I forget to save it. So now I have to start all the way back at level 1.
Oh, that's terrible, man.
Then on my other phone, I'm almost like at one of the last levels in Blockbreaker Deluxe, and the subscription runs out. Somehow, right when I was about to beat it. You know how long I've been working on that one? You know how many hours of...
Well, that's how they do it, man. They get that little taste in your mouth, and you're like, I gotta quench this thirst. Boom, subscription over.
Because Blockbreaker was the one I always played when I was taking a crap. And you know how many hours of crapping, how many pounds of feces came out while I was playing Blockbreaker?
Look, I feel your pain.
All for naught?
I feel your pain. That's why, I do have to buy... I bought Angry Birds on the iPhone because, well, you gotta have something to take crap. That's
also why, by the way, you should never, ever borrow someone else's cell phone. Because guaranteed, there is fecal matter on it, all kinds of disgusting. Think about it, because, you use it... Let me ask you this. Have you ever...
I don't wipe, then play.
You've never done that in your life?
I play.
Okay, hold on. You've
wipe. Wash.
Yeah, but you've never been playing, wiped, been like, oh, I'm actually not done. There's more on the way.
No.
Interesting. And then you go back to playing?
No.
Well, I have.
No, usually I'm a one-take man.
Adam Calvert, my cousin Adam, joins us. Now, we don't have a lot of time, except for what we're talking about. We don't have a lot of time to screw around, my cousin Adam, because we have some interns coming in. Some potential interns anyway. So we have to have plenty of time to verbally harass them in various different ways. So, how are you, first of all?
I'm glad you guys let me eavesdrop on that conversation. That was a nice way to start my morning.
Have you ever wiped and played?
No, usually when
I guess I'm the only one.
Well, I'm sure of myself. I know when I'm done when I'm done,
Yeah.
But every once in a while,
I agree. No,
every once in a while, you're going to get up and you're like, huh, interesting. Maybe
I've never had to. I very rarely, if ever, have had to go back to the well.
Sometimes there's a straggler that was a little late to the party.
Nah,
no,
I can usually suppress the straggler. I don't know. I just don't feel like going back.
I guess I'm just... or sometimes you just had a good time and you feel like spending another 20 minutes or so. All right, let's get into it.
All right, this is a story about lip syncing on YouTube. There's a new Senate bill coming out, Senate Bill 978. It's a bipartisan measure introduced last month by 3 senators, including Delaware's own Chris Coons. It's backed by supporters who say it closes glaring loopholes in current copyright infringement laws that need to be addressed in the digital age. This comes up, I guess, because of lip syncing. There's that guy, that kid, that 16-year-old Keenan Cahill, who gets like 50 million hits a month, and all he does is lip sync a song and he dances to it a little bit. He's kind of a weird looking kid. He's got some sort of spinal problem, so he looks a little strange. Looks like a little missing kid.
How dare you?
But anyway, now they want to put up to 5 years in prison on this bill. So if you get caught lip syncing and publicly performing and then posting on YouTube, you could possibly go to prison for this.
And your lips will be syncing with something else. You know what I mean? Gross.
But I had some questions for you last night, and they've also been raised by a former White House aide who was on the Council for Online Protection. He says the questions you're going to have to ask is, do you prosecute a school for hosting an event and playing a song? Do you prosecute the parents for videotaping it and posting on their Facebook page? Or do you actually prosecute the child who's the one actually lip-syncing the Lady Gaga song and performing it for all their loved ones? I just think this, I don't know, this is kind of a slippery slope to me, because, I mean, it is one of these questions on, is it just because they get a lot of hits that you start to prosecute them? Do you prosecute everyone? What about when you're videotaping in your living room, there's just a song on the background? How is this even enforceable? And really, 5 years in prison, does the penalty, is it appropriate for the crime?
Here's the thing. You don't have to prosecute everybody that violates it. That's one thing.
But that's not fair. That's my point. It's not fair to not prosecute everyone.
I'm sorry?
That's why it's not fair to not prosecute everyone. It's basically, it's like they're only going to prosecute people who seem to benefit from this the most.
Well, we do that all the time, and we don't prosecute everybody that jaywalks or prosecute everybody that commits a crime. If we did that, well, there wouldn't be enough jails and prosecutors and police in the world to catch everybody. But anyway, I know this law sounds terrible, and I'll try to defend it. Basically, it's really just an extension of what the copyright law already is. You can't publicly perform a song. You can't play a song for the public without a license to it. There shouldn't, and all this law does is say you just can't do that online. So I don't see what the big deal about the law is, other than, yeah, sure, when you think of the quote-unquote criminal under the law as being this kid who's lip-syncing his song, well, yeah, then it seems like, oh, this law is terrible, you know, why are we having laws like this where some little kid is going to get prosecuted? But, I mean, if that kid performed the same song in public without a license to do it, he would be infringing on the copyright there. So I don't see what the big difference is for him to do it online.
I just want to know if the record companies have been contacted or if they've participated in this bill, because I've got another story here that kind of editorializes at the tops, and it reads, record labels are clamoring for a chance to have their artists lip-synced alongside 16-year-old YouTube sensation Keenan Cahill. He's the 16-year-old I was talking about before. So it's like you've got these record companies who are almost banking on this kid to use their song so that they can get more publicity. But then there's the catch-22 here, is that a guy like Keenan Cahill wouldn't exist unless he was just screwing around in his room lip-syncing to a song. So I almost feel like, is this something the government needs to step in on? Because really, it's the record companies who own the license to these songs, and if they're not down with some sort of new congressional bill, then should it even happen in the first place?
Well, I can't say for sure whether or not the record companies have sponsored this bill, or if their lobbyists are the ones that are pushing it. I would think so, but you know, it just doesn't seem like a smart business decision for the reasons that you mentioned. But then again, you don't. I think part of the bill might be to address people who are just putting the songs up on YouTube and things like that.
Well, if that's the case, then why add that element of lip syncing? Lip syncers shall go to prison for 5 years. I mean, why add that element?
I don't think that it's. If you read the actual bill, it doesn't say lip syncers. It says any performance of the song. Now, performance can be a lip syncing. It can be playing the song. It can be you performing it. It can be you playing the audio.
What if you lip sync the song, but it's not actually playing? See, then you'd be fine. It's got nothing to do with the lip syncing. It's just got to do with the fact that the song's playing. By the way, I guarantee the record companies are involved in this, because the record companies are the same ones that, you know, back when Napster was getting big, they were fining college students $1 million for downloading a couple songs. Although I do think if I was to try to defend it, it is similar. Let's just say that kid, that Keenan Cahill guy, really does get 50 million hits a month. Well, if he does get 50 million hits a month, then that means that he's making about $100,000 a month off of these YouTube videos, because that's from the math I just quickly did, and what you can charge if you put an advertisement on there. If you really are getting close to 50 million hits, then that would be the same thing as him going out in public, performing a song and charging $100,000 or making $100,000 off of it. I can totally understand why they would, if they were going to pursue it, they'd only prosecute the people that make a lot of money off of it. Same way, if you're going after people who sell drugs, you're gonna target more the people that sell a lot of drugs and make a lot of money off of the drugs. Yeah, you are performing someone else's song. And we may say, oh, they're just lip syncing. Yeah, but if this guy's making buku bucks off of it, it's not just some kid. It's the guy that's becoming a millionaire off of these songs.
But now a lot of the artists are showing up to his bedroom to perform these lip sync songs with him, because they know that they can in turn get a lot of hits on iTunes.
Well, that means that he probably, if an artist is that, I know 50 Cent showed up for one of those or something like that. In that case, he probably had to go through the record company, so that's not a case of copyright infringement. I think that if you want to make a lot of money off of someone else's material, you got to get their permission first. And I don't. Yeah, they're not. If there's some 4-year-old kid on YouTube lip syncing a Lady Gaga song and it's got 6 hits, they're not going to prosecute that kid.
Yeah, but now
if they're making $100,000,
but what if that 4-year-old all of a sudden overnight gets 50 million hits, and then now you prosecute the 4-year-old?
No, what probably is going to happen is that then now this is becoming a money making enterprise, and so you're going to have to get permission from the record company, and they're going to want their cut. And frankly, yeah, is it a good business decision? No. Is it going to work? No. Record companies continue to make these kind of decisions and they don't work for them. But at the same time, is it really that ridiculous? I mean, it's their material. They want to make money off of it.
I'm just saying, how enforceable is it? Because otherwise, I mean, what constitutes a public performance, and how far do you go?
I mean, I think it says anytime you get 10 views within a month period or something like that, it's a public performance.
Yeah, and
at least electronically, when you're talking about non-internet public performances, is any time where it's not a small group of people, like, that can fit in your living room or your car, or things like that.
Yeah, you have to imagine, and we got to kind of wrap it up here, but you have to imagine. I mean, this weirdo guy with the spinal problem. He has more hits on his video of lip syncing the song than the actual video of the song gets. So the record company is looking at that and saying, that's ours. We want to make money of it. The artist is looking at it and saying, that's my material. I deserve. It's mine. You don't get to. So, I mean, on one hand, it may seem greedy, but I thought this is America, and we admire capitalism. So, it may be greedy, but I thought the big message of America is that greed is good. So, Adam Calvert, my cousin Adam, thanks a lot. We got to wrap it there, but thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. So don't forget to check me out on mycousinadam.com.
mycousinadam.com. There it is. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.